Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing today? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been a stressful morning. Nothing stresses me out more than art therapy. Just I'm not one of them people that can do art and be, you know, calm and cool and collected about it. It stresses me out more than anything in this world. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Um, so uh we are going to follow up with a stream from Monday. Hey, Laura. Hey, Hose Picker. Good to see you. And Hose Picker, just to let you know, I was picking on you today, not Spawn. When I said what's new, or I said something like, isn't that every day? I was picking on you, but I know you can handle it, so it's all good. Hey, Flash Fan. Jeffrey and Tammy for being number one. Guys, can you hit like and subscribe if you haven't? Jeffrey, stop trying to derail me. I am not trying to grift, but we are trying to make it to 4K, and we are hovering right around that. Sorry, I have to adjust my footrest where it doesn't hurt my back. We are hovering right around that 4K, and I'm hoping to hit 4K maybe by Memorial Day. I don't know. We have like 301 people to get there. We are, yes, smash it, but only smash it once, because if you smash it twice, it goes away. We are, no, I'm not. Today I got to draw something and then she told me to rip it up, or she told us it's a group. I'm in group therapy. So, no, the new chair I got one with a footrest so that I can prop my foot up, and be a little bit more relaxed. I gotta get comfortable, and I like to prop my foot up on something. So the fact that this one has a footrest, and I put it together myself in like a half an hour, so it wasn't that hard. But she is in her room, playing and hopefully taking a nap. She was like on the verge of like passing out, but we will see. Because whenever she hears me, and usually I hit that live button, and she's up and out. So she's in her room. She's tentatively trying to take a nap. So you might get my ASMR voice for a little bit. I apologize. It is what it is. If I ever get too quiet, which is not likely, just let me know. Today we are following up on the arrest affidavit of high school student Karmelo Anthony, who is accused of unaliving fellow teenager Austin Metcalf at a Texas high school track meet. No problem. No problem at all. Yesterday was good. Yesterday we did 2 streams. We were only doing one, and then somebody came in the chat, I think it was Poor Marine, and said there's a new document. So we had to switch bases right away. And I made the first page of exhibit and the second page of exhibit 8, along with Megan and Tug's thumbnails, Shizzy's thumbnails, which are hilarious. Oh my god. And then DJ Radis was in there too. Not exhibit 8, but he had his own special section just for DJ Radis. But Spawn and I are going to find another time to finish going over that. Flash Fan, I will show you really quick. I didn't just get mentioned. There is, like, for those of you who weren't here yesterday and who don't want to go back and watch the whole entire thing, I will show you just a small snippet of yesterday. I have to open up the document because I closed it. So his response to sanctions were not really a response to sanctions. It was like he was trying to share the litigate the case from a motion that he shouldn't have been trying to litigate the case during. So we're gonna get into this real quick. let's see. Just really quick for you Flash fans. This is 14 pages of absolute crap. It's probably the worst writing ever. And speaking of that, we have a hater's comment to get to. Exhibit 1 is Jared, blah, 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 blah. So we get down to Exhibit 3. Exhibit 4 is email. She quit her job. Exhibit 6 is Facebook and DJ Radis. But we get to Exhibit 8. I didn't get mentioned. I have 2 pages of fun. Come on, this one. Wait, more than 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pages. What do you think, Flash fan? I mean, and then Tug and Megan got 2, 3 pages. Shizzy got 2 pages, 3 pages. Yeah. No, Flash fan, the only thing that bugs me about this, because 1, Bruce screwed up. He not only left this window open and shows that he subscribes to Just J Hip, which he actually got a gifted membership. I saw they got a gifted membership to them, but he still subscribes to me and not only shows all my videos of What the Hales, but he's not smart enough to go to my What the Hales playlist and only show What the Hales videos. So he shows the judge that I talk about other things all the time. Yeah. But here's where I'm going to be embarrassed. Oh, he didn't show it. Oh my goodness. Thank God. I expected him to fully try to embarrass me by showing thank God, the thumbnail. I didn't actually look at what videos were there, but he does not show the thumbnail where I called the Judge McDreamy. Thank goodness, because I was like, oh great, he's gonna know that I called him Judge McDreamy. I wonder what he's gonna think about that. I can only imagine what this man would be thinking. I don't know. I have no idea. Not a clue. Oh, I'm sure they did, but guess what? Oh, speaking of the guess what, we have I forgot to bring up because I was not intending to talk about this a lot. Or if at all, I just brought it up because Flash Fan was here. But we have the first hater of the week, which I am going to share my screen. I have so many screen shares right now. I'm like, huh? Oh, hey, Sweet Fly. How are you? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So here's hater number 1 of the week. This person is a Hale supporter, apparently. Julie Pippin 8710. Welcome to my my stream. Jeffrey, he didn't remind me of a hater. He reminded me of that I shared the thumbnail, or because he asked me if I got mentioned. It was like I got more than mentioned. I got 4 pages or 3 pages, something like that. I don't even remember. She said, can't stand all the noise and interruptions. I'll wait for Tug. Jesus freaking Pete, man. My response is always snarky and bitchy because I just don't give a flying. Bless your heart. It's not an airport. No need to announce your departure, but thanks for the engagement and thanks for giving material for my hater of the week since a toddler triggers you. If you're triggered by a title, um, if you're triggered by a toddler, that says more about you than it does about me. For everybody who might be catching this, who is new to my channel, I am a stay-at-home mother. I am a disabled veteran. I'm a stay-at-home mother. My toddler is my everything. And when she comes in here and wants my attention, y'all, I'm going to give her my attention because I love you guys. I love you guys. I wouldn't be anywhere on YouTube. I'm still not anywhere on YouTube. I only have 3,600 and some odd subscribers, but there's a thing that I love you, but blood's thicker than water. And she is my everything. So there's that. Hey, Chris, I love when you get snarky. And hey, Debbie. Oh, sweet fly. Blue Amaryllis. I love you guys. And Laura. Yeah, I got another hater. We need a Hater of the Week awards. That'll be my version of Rosalind's Giphy. If you have not checked out Rosalind's Giphy awards, it's the Go F Yourself awards. But wait, there's more. I just have to hide this so I don't show yeah. Like, it's one of those things of like, but the funny thing is I love Tug, do not get me wrong, but Tug and Megan have interruptions too. Maybe not as much of a toddler because their kids are a little bit more self-sufficient and they have siblings, and mine does not. She relies on me and me only right now, while her dad's not here. But Tug and Megan get interrupted too, and Tug and Megan get sidetracked all the time. So it's funny that she has a problem with my child, but not everybody else's, which is like hilarious to me. Like, I just, like I said, love Tug and Megan. No hard feelings, but none. That's not that kind of a post. But it was just funny that she had a problem with my toddler and not, hey, don't knock the ADHD. I don't have it in here. Usually I have all my notebooks. But I have an ADHD workbook, or like a organized, like a planner. I have my big planner. I have my budget notebook. I have my expense tracker for all of this. Things I might be able to write off on taxes. That I did my taxes for the first time by myself this year, and it was holy crap. And then I have my ADHD workbook, which I write in every day of things that need to get done, things that can get done. So I have ADHD too. Yeah, but I'm also, yes, they interrupt each other. When I'm by myself, the only person who can interrupt me is me. Well, y'all, but yeah. I've never technically been diagnosed with ADHD, but I do have depression and anxiety, so a lot of the same characteristics can, yeah. And see, that's where I was like, Bug's interruptions are so cute. She is adorable. I love her voice, and that 100 word, whenever she comes in with her first 100 words book, I'm like, baby girl, go grab your book, because we have that same book and we're going to work on it when Tug does. But it's one of those things of like, she just said that she had a problem with my child and nobody else's. And I'm like, well, thanks for, like, sorry, I'm going to interrupt my stream when my daughter wants something, because sometimes I have to tell her no. Otherwise, we'd be playing with broken glass. And standing in the windowsills, which I will get to. So there's everybody's favorite hater. Everybody's favorite hater. At one point, he used to be able to distract more. Oh, Flash fan, you crack me up. Yeah, I like it because they're friends, and sometimes they derail each other. But I understand the sometimes wanting to get through things. But at the same time, when you stream with friends, like I saw myself doing it yesterday with Spawn. He's not bad though, because he stays on track. Spawn is very methodical when he plans out his streams. You think he doesn't have a plan. He has very methodical. Like if you are ever on a stream with him, it is like from this time to this time, we'll be talking about this. From this time to this time, it's not that rigid, but he plans them out very methodically. So when he's here, even though I get sidetracked with him, we still stay on the topic of what we're talking about. So like yesterday in the stream about the NTSB report, we did get sidetracked, but it was like in regards to now we have more questions about this. So we did get sidetracked, but we stayed in on the same topic. You can own land and still be poor. One, because poor, or it's not like they won't make you sell your land and your house to get a lawyer. It's yeah. So it's you mean we're supposed to stay on topic, generally speaking. But I always like to give my haters their 15 minutes of fame. And I have a new person who's obsessed with me. She is massively obsessed. Okay. I think she was singing to herself. So so everybody's favorite hater, Lori G673. Hey King Bob, how are you? You only have me for 40 minutes. Wife's coming home from Houston. Ooh, what was she doing in Houston? Was she there for work? Squid. Pro quo. What you're doing is assisting someone who is committing crimes in order to generate content and has brought 22 channels into his business model. Okay, you better look up Rico because that's where this is going for Germ, and you are all a part of that. I'm sorry if Jeremy Hales' Rico account did not stick. Good luck, lady. Good luck. Second, Bruce was my first one. Bruce was my first one, and this is just JH is a stalking psychopath. Since when did she have a doctorate in psychology? Or a PhD. If you think the judge isn't going to see that, you're naive at best. Well, congratulations on spelling naive right. I give you credit for that one. So if the judge does think that about Jeremy, what does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with me? I'm literally reading legal documents. It's so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is hilarious to me. I mean, I give her credit. She listened to me. She got her grammar better. I've only given you an ounce of attention. If this is an ounce, I really hate to see what a whole cup looks like. Or maybe a gallon, because this is an ounce. Okay. Not really, because the last time I commented on her grammar, so she fixed that. So congratulations, Lori, if you're watching. I give you credit for. I'm sorry. That child you sit for hours and ignore. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring my child. She's ignoring me. There's a difference. Having a degree with that has to do with human development. I don't give her every ounce of attention, because when she is focused on something, I am not going to interrupt her, because you can't ever work on your attention span if you are constantly interrupted. Like an adult who's constantly interrupted, that gets you upset, right? She's a child, but she's still a human. Like, I don't interrupt her. Right now, she's in her room playing with her toys. She should be down for a nap. I didn't bring the camera in here. But in order for her to leave her room, she has to pass right by my door. So I like, "Bleh, bleh, bleh." And you're holding her out there for psychopaths to see. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm not holding her out there for anybody to see. When she is on screen with me, I mute her if she's saying anything that could, or having a temper tantrum, because she doesn't need to have a temper tantrum on camera. So I turn my camera off and I take her somewhere else. Yeah, that's the other thing. Also, nobody knows her name. Um, and if y'all, like I said, y'all can't even find my house on GPS. So if y'all come to my house and try to harm my family, I live in rural Georgia. Remember that. Just a thing. Thank you, Marcus King, for the $49.99 super chat. You do you. Oh, you are so generous. Oh my God, I love you guys so much. And then I say, of course, I have to respond because I get bored. And I think I had this was 7:10, so I was just waking up because I had pretty Flash fan. That's our favorite hobby. We have a house full of hunters. Duck hunters. That's why Bad Duck doesn't come in here anymore. Just kidding. You're insane. You're hilarious. Get help, princess. I am reading legal documents and giving my opinion on them. I do it all the time with multiple cases all over the country. Get over yourself. We have this thing called the First Amendment, and our courts are open to the public, as well as the documents being public. Please seek help. You obviously need it. Also, I do not ignore my child. If you could get your ego out of the way and regain, let's see. Sorry, I'm gonna stop sharing this. It's a matter of three. I'll just read it to you because that way I don't have to keep sharing and unsharing. And also, I do not ignore my child. If you could get your ego out of the way and regain some common sense, you would realize that. I stream 2 hours a day and I'm home all day with her. Be it this is the same person that would tell me that I'm not spending enough time with my child if I had a 40-hour-a-week job and I had to drop her off at daycare. So she is an independent little girl and doesn't always need me telling her what to do. Also, a toddler sometimes throws temper tantrums when she is told no. For example, you can't stand on the windowsill like my child likes to do. You are a warped and twisted person. Yeah. It's like oi. It's just, it's just funny. I am a Montessori parent, or I lean towards Montessori. I don't do everything Montessori, but my child right now has access to a container full of snacks, her plates, her silverware, her bowls. The only thing she can't do is the fridge because we have a French door refrigerator with the freezer on the bottom, and she's just not tall enough to get things out of the fridge by herself. But she has a container full of snacks that she goes to the cabinet, and when she is she will bring me snacks when I am in the shower and want me to open up her snacks. So I think so. No, though I think that might have actually been her. Somebody back in the day said, I can't judge what a good lawyer is because I'm not a lawyer. Think about that one for a second. Oh, yeah. And then I commented again because, of course, I had more to say. I said, you're obsessed with me, and it's not only creepy, it's quite pathetic. You might actually be able to do something good in your life if you put an ounce of the warped attention you give me into learning things. Bless your heart. Yeah, an access to mom's water cup. She has her own. But yet she still I had her cup and my cup, and I had a glass, and she can drink out of a glass without a problem. I just don't like her to drink out of a glass when I'm not there because, but she picked up my small glass and started drinking out of it. And it's like, your cup is right next to mine. They were literally here's my water, here's my mic. They were literally this right here. And she still wanted to drink out of mine. So, yeah, but your water tastes better. And I literally filled hers up first, so hers was colder than mine. With that logic, she can't judge intelligence. I know, right? Yeah, because I was brushing my teeth yesterday. And I think, yeah, I was brushing my teeth, and then I was on the phone with Spawn, and all I had done was like gone to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, made a phone call. It was walking out of the bedroom, and I heard crash because she had climbed up on something that she didn't have climbed up on, and she thinks my candle holders are cups, and she dropped it and it shattered. Ugh. Oh yeah. Reminds me of the T-bone bull butt butcher him on. Tommy boy. Oh my goodness. All right. So getting to legal documents that we are going to talk about. We are actually not talking about What the Hales at all, except for the second What the Hales case. The judge put in an order that said Bubbles has 21 days from the time of that order to file. Jeremy has 21 days from the time of that order to file a amended complaint, specifically for MLS's lawyers, Christopher Gage's motion about the, you know what I'm talking about, the specificity. And I know she didn't do it on purpose, so I was not mad. I just didn't want her to step in it. So I pulled her up on the couch, and then I sold our outlet camera, and I took the money that we made from selling the outlet camera and went straight to Walmart and got that bubble toy and some new clothes. So, yes, which they already discussed, which Christopher Gage had put in. I don't want to call him Christopher because I think it's disrespectful, but like everybody calls Randy. So even Jeremy calls Jeremy Randy. So that's why everybody else does. But Gage, he even said in his motion that here's a proposed agreed upon motion or agreed upon order, and the judge literally just pretty much signed it. But he has 21 days, and then Bubbles has until May 2nd to respond to the complaint. So we will see what happens. And I've got them all written down. This is why I have this book this big. Yes, BBB response due Friday, May 2nd. Yeah, this is why I have all of this written down, because I can't remember crap. And instead of trying to go through my computer, I just look at my calendar. All right, these might be kind of hard for you to read, and they're individual pages. So I am going to read it for us. It is a little bit blurry. So I'm sorry. It's just the PDF, actually JPEGs that I got to copy. Bubbles is a defendant on the second case. So he is right now pro se as a defendant on the second case. So there's that. All right. This is the arrest report and affidavit of Karmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, the individual who was arrested in connection with the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf. Anthony is 17. Metcalf is 16. Great. Another one to look at. Oh, she's awake. All right, we'll get into this. He is a cashier, so he has a job. Yeah, we're just going to go with that. He has to answer the complaint in the second case as the defendant. So he asked for a 30-day extension, and the judge initially said no, but then gave it to him. I'm pretty sure the judge gave him that 30-day extension because of all the BS in the first case. This right here is this Texas track meet case. So this just happened April 7th or April 8th, April 6th, something like that. Last Thursday. So this is relatively new. I did put a Information Act request out to the Frisco PD for this, and they sent me something. They sent me the first page redacted, and that was it. I couldn't find anything. Yeah, this one, I decided that I wanted to cover it, not only because it's another incident of a teenager being violent. This time he didn't unalive his parents, allegedly. However, this one's super interesting to me in the sense of what actually started the argument, what caused him to do it, because he, I think GoFundMe took it down, but he had raised about $200,000 for a GoFundMe, like he was the victim. It's been made out in the press to be that Austin Metcalf was a white supremacist, and we all know when those ist words are thrown around, that by the media, that what aren't they telling us? So this is one of the things that I want to see what actually is happening versus what the media has tried to spin it. And pundits on Twitter who have literally said that Austin Metcalf, like he was defending, or Karmelo was defending himself against Austin. And it was like, and it was just one of those like, oh, yeah. We just got to see what actually happened. He's been charged with first-degree felony, murder. Hoy, the media, adult male was taken into custody following a stabbing on FISD property. And that's Frisco Independent School District, I believe. Initial narrative 4-2. So this happened the last Wednesday. 4-2 at 10:01 hours. I, Staley School Resource Officer E. Cortez, heard over the radio dispatch call out a stabbing at David Kendall Stadium. FPD call notes indicated that an athlete was stabbed. The suspect was reported as being a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants. I immediately left my office and ran across the Staley Middle School parking lot towards the southwest entrance to the stadium. As I entered the stadium, 2 high school-age students informed me that the victim was on the north end of the stadium by the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent. I did not identify these students. Next, I proceeded towards the north end of the stadium, visitor side, on foot. As I got closer to the north end, I could see the Memorial High School tent with multiple individuals under the tent. Once I arrived onto the north side bleachers, an adult male who was on the track pointed out the suspect. I was not able to identify that witness. The individual pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hooded sweater and dark colored Nike pants. The suspect at this point was on, and this is where I have to switch pages because it was uploaded as individual pages and instead of a PDF document, which is always fun. Page 2. And I do apologize for this being blurry. This is all the that I could get. The only document that I could find, and someone sent this to me. And you're welcome. Oh. Yeah, true journalism has died in this country. Few reporters get to the truth. It's all about what the current rumor is about this person. Yeah, there's people who still think that Kyle Rittenhouse unalived black people, and not one of those people is black. Just, I don't know. Yeah, right. I don't discriminate. I hate everybody equally. It's just, I think they are, but I'm not sure. They're difficult to find, but I'm working on it. We're getting somewhere. But this was the first thing to read, because if you don't read the police affidavit and what the police actually saw, all the documents that cite the police affidavit don't make a lot of sense, or they don't make as much good sense as they could, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not, I like to have all the background information, especially from the cops, because this involves quite a few of them. So we left off in the middle of a sentence. He was on the track at the north end. There was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. It should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. And that's, this right here was one of my things that I brought up on Monday. I don't believe that this will be thrown out. Like, this statement will not be able to be used. However, I believe that his lawyer will try to get that statement thrown out, because that, somebody commented, and they didn't comment mean or anything, but they were like, it'll never get, like, he didn't read him as murder rights. He didn't have to. He wasn't detained. I was like, yeah, I understand that. I'm just speaking from, if I were defending him, I would do everything in my power to try to find some statute, some precedent, some case law to get that statement thrown out. Just for because of the fact that he didn't stay on the scene. He ran. So, and I asked him if he had any weapons. He said no. So he not only ran, but he ditched the weapon. Doesn't sound like self-defense to me. I patted him down for weapons while we were walking along the fence. I did not locate any on his person. I instructed the male to continue walking along the fence, which he complied, towards an area where there was an opening in the fence that led off the track. While walking him off the track, the suspect also said he put his hands on me. I then detained the suspect in handcuffed behind his back, and had him sit down on the ground. Officer Ricci had arrived on scene at the time. I conducted another pat down of his person and then searched his person. After he gave me consent, no weapons were located. While the suspect sat on the ground, I advised that I had the alleged suspect. The suspect then responded and says, I'm not alleged, I did it. That right there is the statement that I would want thrown out. I know he wasn't detained and he wasn't in custody technically, but that, I think, is going to be one of the things that we see a motion for that to get tossed. This is where my, I'm not a lawyer, but I try to think, like, I know what I think of this. However, I've been told that being a good lawyer, you need to be able to argue both sides of a case, whether you agree with it or not. So, playing devil's advocate, if I were his lawyer, I would try to do everything that I can to get this part of anybody's testimony or statements thrown out. I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they can. I'm just saying, if I were a lawyer, I'd be searching. Yeah, excited utterance. I would be trying to find something, a loophole, shall you say. Not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying that that's what I would do. Next, Officer Ricci and I walked the suspect to the patrol vehicle 2412. This is officer's patrol car, which was on the northeast gate of the stadium. I can't pronounce that one easily, and it doesn't roll off the tongue. So, yeah. Hey, there y'all. Hey, General T. Yeah, right here. They're going to fight hard over it. Like, I don't think that I agree it was an excited utterance. I agree he was not in custody at that time. So whatever he says technically can be used. However, just being the fact that something to fight over, and if I can possibly get it thrown out for any particular reason I can find, I'm going to try. Like I said, oh, great. I can't. Well, I'm sure somebody will tell me. Yeah. Yeah. I got nothing for that. I don't talk to cops. Rule number 1 of life. Don't talk to cops. Cops are not your friend when they're acting in official capacity. I have friends who are cops and retired cops. But when they are acting in official capacity, you ain't saying shit except for yes sir, no sir. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. As we walked to the squad car, the suspect was emotional and said he put his hands on me. I told him not to. I did not question the suspect about the incident while he was escorted to the patrol vehicle. I searched his person once again and had him sit in the back seat area, driver's side of patrol vehicle 2412. While the suspect was in the back seat, I noticed fresh blood on his left middle finger. I verbally acknowledged that I saw blood out loud so that it would be captured on my body-worn camera. And as far as I know and can find, the body camera footage has not been released yet. But however, because I do know how to do an information request with the Frisco Police Department, I am going to send an email right after we get done here and ask for it. So when it's released, I might get a copy. Might being the keyword. But if I can get the raw footage, if I can get the raw footage, that would. Yeah, apparently he's a 2-parent household with siblings. I just, sidebar, my personal opinion on this, I just think it was a rebellious teenager who's overall a good kid, but sometimes good people do screw up. Like, sorry, sometimes good people screw up. It happens. Hi, beautiful. Oh, did you just wake up? Did you just wake up? Oh my goodness. Hello. Mwah, sweet baby. Oh my goodness. So I just think it was a good kid who got angry and just messed up. I don't think he's a horrible person, but sometimes good people do bad shit. It should also be noted that the suspect asked me, is he going to be okay, when he was in the back seat. And that's when I feel like he realized what he did. I then identified the suspect. He provided his name and date of birth verbally as Karmelo Anthony with a date of birth of which don't care. Ran through the FPD dispatch. Officer Hancock arrived. If Ung Hung Hero watches this on replay, stop. Arrived on scene and remained with me and the suspect at this point. Karmelo was then checked via eSchool database for FISD students to confirm his identity. The identifying information he provided matched the individual I had in custody. Next, I was advised by Sergeant Holland to transport the subject to the Frisco PD jail. Officer Hancock and I transported him to the FPD jail. Again, I did not question Karmelo about the incident. Do you say hi? Hi. Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of questions, and that is why I wanted to read this, because no one's really been able to answer that. People have said that he wasn't supposed to be there, and other people have said that people are under other schools' tents all the time. It was about to rain. I wonder if he said anything like, "Hey, I'm just going to stand here," and then they went after him. Just yeah. I don't know, but if we can figure out how to do it, I'm going to do it. Yeah, yep. The other one was HATH, so this one's different, but yes, y'all can make fun of me for that because y'all do what you do. If y'all weren't my ride or dies, I would be a little upset, but I know that y'all just make fun of me because it's me. And they have money too, from what other streamers have said. The victim's from a single parent. I don't know if his mom is in his life. The victim is a twin, and his mom is very involved in his life. His dad said he forgave Karmelo. His mom was like, yeah, no. That's what I don't understand, but it is. So I know you're not supposed to have weapons on school property. However, it's Texas. And just because you're not supposed to doesn't mean people don't. Not for personal protection, but like I swear I use, like when I'm wearing jeans, there is a pocket knife in my pocket at all times because box opening, like letter opener, like it's just it opening a package instead of trying to dig with my nails or trying to search for scissors. I just, and it's just easier. Like it's just functional opening things up. Yeah, we make fun of everybody. I don't know if it was a big knife either. That's what I want to find out. I've heard various things, and because I have heard various things, I like to read this because then we hear what the cops said and what the cops saw and not what the media twists. Because not only does the media twist things, but then the telephone games, well, I heard this. And then the next person, well, I heard this. And it just gets more sensationalized. Never leave home without something. Never leave home without something. Upon arriving at the Frisco jail, Karmelo was escorted into the intake area. FPD jail staff changed him out into jail attire. I remained with the jail staff the entire time that he was changed over. The clothes that Karmelo was wearing were placed in an FPD paper evidence bag. So paper is used, not exactly like Canton, but paper is used. Roy, one's in Texas, one's in Florida. So the clothes remained in my possession from this point on. Upon Karmelo being placed into a jail cell, I continued to keep possession of his clothes. I returned to my patrol 2412 along with Officer Hancock, which was in the FPD Sally Port, and placed Karmelo's clothes in the back trunk area. I drove patrol vehicle 2412 out of the Sally Port and parked the squad car in the FPD patrol parking area. Karmelo's clothes remained in the trunk area of vehicle 2412. FPD crime scene technician Kay Dillard then took possession of Karmelo's clothes. Okay, I was going to ask, that was going to be my next thing. Like, is that common practice to leave it in there and have a crime scene tech take it out? Or, well, I'm in the process of switching things over from the old car to the new car. So things are a little weird, but I do have a built-in camera in my car. So yeah. I added my own body-worn camera to the case. I have no further information to report. Officer Allison Ricci on 4/2/1704, for those of you civilians or non-aviation people, that is 5:04 p.m. On 4/2/25, 10:01 hours, I was wearing a full Frisco police uniform. I was operating a fully marked Frisco police vehicle 2412. At about that time, I was dispatched to the report of a stabbing at the stadium. Frisco police dispatch advised that an athlete had been stabbed. The suspect was described as a black male wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. I responded code 3 from the area of El Dorado Parkway at Frisco Street. I had arrived on scene at approximately 10:05 hours. When I arrived on scene, I approached the track field area and saw Officer Cortez kneeling next to a black male wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. The male, later identified as Karmelo Anthony, was in handcuffs and was seated on the sidewalk by the entrance to the track. As I approached Officer Cortez stated Anthony was the alleged suspect. Anthony then made a spontaneous statement. I am not alleged. I did it. Once again. Yeah, that I get. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Yeah, like, but they did collect evidence in red Solo cups. Yeah, all I can think of is the song by Toby Keith, Red Solo Cup. Yeah. You all right? Yeah. Okay. You just waking up? Did you take a good nap? No, you didn't? Okay. Well, where do you want to go? You want to go get a snack? Go get yourself a snack. No. Okay, then don't get yourself a snack. Either way, you do what you want to do, girl. Oh my God. Hold on one second. We are not a when we wake up, we are it takes us a while to wake up. And we're kind of moody when we wake up. So she'll be standoffish for a while. But that's okay. That's normal for her. That's not unusual. Officer Cortez conducted a pat search of Anthony's person to ensure Anthony did not have any weapons and found nothing of evidentiary value. Officer Cortez and I then walked Anthony to my pre-search patrol vehicle, and Anthony was seated in the rear driver's side compartment of my patrol vehicle. While walking to my patrol vehicle, Anthony made another spontaneous statement and asked if what happened could be considered self-defense. I replied, telling Anthony I don't know what happened. It should be noted the in-car camera in my patrol vehicle was activated prior to Anthony being placed in my patrol vehicle. While Officer Cortez assisted Anthony into my patrol vehicle, I noticed Anthony had blood on his left middle finger. I grabbed my department-issued digital camera and took a photograph of Anthony's hands. I later uploaded the photograph to the crime scene folder under this case number. What's up, Angel? You want that? Oh, my mommy's iPad's dead, baby. It doesn't work. It's the battery's dead.
No.
It is. I'm sorry.
No.
Woo!
No.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Red Solo Cup. I'll fill you up. Let's have a Squid Pro Quo party in chat. I am not singing that, but yeah. Just a squid side eye could freeze you in your tracks. Her side eye could freeze you in your tracks. Here's her side eye. Oh, I have to just get rid of my notifications because I have Weather Channel and Broken Baker notifications. Angel. What's up, baby? Here is her side eye. So, if you think my side eye is bad, okay. There you go. Mwah. That's what you wanted? Oh, bye. Bye. Kiss. No. Okay, no kiss. Okay. Well, I love you too. I love you. Okay, thank you. Squid family is scary. I never, I have my iPad. I hardly use my iPad anymore. I used my iPad a lot when I was not a streamer, and I hardly used my computer, and now it's backwards. Yeah, she does, but once again, she would rather use mine because, she'd rather use mine. Because my stuff is always better. Even though I'm pretty sure hers is newer than mine. All right. Anthony made another spontaneous statement and asked if what happened could be considered self-defense. I replied by telling Anthony I did not know what happened. It should be noted that the in-car camera in my patrol vehicle was activated prior to Anthony being placed in my patrol vehicle. So that should be on camera too. While Officer Cortez assisted Anthony into my patrol vehicle, I noticed Anthony had blood on his left middle finger. I grabbed my department-issued digital camera and took a photograph of Anthony's hands. I later uploaded the photo to the crime scene folder under this case number. Officer Cortez remained with my patrol vehicle and Anthony while I provided assistance with scene security. Nothing further. Oh my God. She has my phone, Flash fan. Yep, Mama has the best stuff, and Mommy's things are always better. course. Lori, you're hilarious. Oh, I love you. Rage quitters are always the best. They're funny. All right, we have page 3. There we go. She's over there listening to music. And these get even more blurry as they go on. So, anyone wishing to depart, you're cleared for takeoff on 12L. Oh, boy. All right. This one's from 4/2/1704. Officer Will Otis. Same thing. First paragraph is the call that was received. Frisco Police Department Emergency Communications was receiving an emergency call regarding an athlete that was stabbed. The originally unknown assailant was a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants. Also had a goatee and short hair. There's new. That hasn't been in any so far. She's sitting in my old chair, just listening to music on my phone. She knows how to operate. She knows how to, with the exception of being able to type and spell, she knows how to operate Apple Music better than I do. So she knows what playlists are her favorite. She goes in there, and she even knows how to turn the volume down when I tell her. But luckily, she's not listening to it very loud, so it's good. The subject was possibly wearing a Centennial High School attire, as it was believed he was a student there for the sporting event. This had all taken place on the visitor side of the stadium, and the victim was under the Memorial High School tent in the bleachers. Around this same time, School Resource Officer Cortez arrived on scene and began assisting the victim, trainers, and the other parties. Officer Cortez also advised on the radio that he had the suspect. Sergeant Otis was working in the 50s sector as the sergeant. He was in full Frisco Police Department uniform with distinct patches and badge and a police duty belt. This guy refers to himself in third person. Writing styles. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. He was also in a marked Frisco Police Department patrol vehicle 2315. He was relatively close to the call and placed himself on it around 10:02 hours and responded to the call with his patrol vehicle and overheard emergency lights and sirens activated. He arrived to the call at around 10:06. Sergeant Otis arrived at the stadium and began walking up to the location. At around this time, Officer Cortez and Officer Ricci were walking a black male subject away from the stadium. The suspect was crying hysterically. Like I said, good kid that realized that he screwed up. And some things you just can't take back. Please see other involved officers' narratives for their involvement. Sergeant Otis walked up to the visitors' bleachers and observed the victim being treated by Frisco Fire Department personnel and also the athletic trainers. The weather began to turn and it began to heavily downpour rain at this time. Some of the FISD staff moved the memorial tent to cover the victim and the FFD personnel. Sergeant Otis began using his city-issued phone to snap crime scene photos to preserve as much of the scene as possible due to the weather and the large gathering of people that were involved in the incident. Other officers began to set up a crime scene with tape, moving non-essential personnel out of the immediate area. The officers on scene were informed that the knife was used was tossed and was still believed to be somewhere close. And that's the thing. That's another thing. They had to go searching for the knife because it wasn't on him. Hey, Robert. Hey. Wait, what? That's not true. She wrote a well-written chat when you said she had your phone once. So that's true. That's true. Good point. Good point. We can count to 10, though. she's just with her thumb in her and her finger in her mouth, just, you know. Oh boy. All right. The officers on scene were informed that the knife was tossed and still believed to be somewhere close. Eventually, one of the witnesses said they remember seeing it on the bleachers still. Officer Shells was able to locate the knife. It was located between rows 9 and 10, near seat 30, closest to the aisle, partially open. So it was a foldable. That really doesn't mean much as far as size because, the rain began to come down again heavily, and it was determined that instead of moving the knife, the officers would cover it with a large blue tarp. A large blue tarp, not a small red Solo cup. Sergeant Otis assisted in preserving the immediate crime scene as much as possible while other personnel tended to the victim and eventually transported him. At around this time, Officer Wetzel had the crime scene log and began logging the individuals on the call to best of his abilities. Lieutenant Crawford and Pemberton relieved Sergeant Otis of the scene. Sergeant Otis went back to the police department to download his body cam and the photos he took with the city-issued phone. Sergeant Otis' city-issued phone had a total of 33 photos that were used to document the incident scene. During the initial photos, formatting was incompatible with the crime scene folder. He re-downloaded the photos that he took, and they were able to be saved properly for preservation of evidence. At this time, there's nothing further to add. This one was from Taylor Wetzel. Same thing. The original call stated an athlete had been stabbed in the chest, and the suspect that stabbed the victim goes to Centennial High School. Athletic trainers were on site and providing care to the victim and advised he was not conscious and not breathing. The notes also indicated that the subject was a black male with a goatee and short hair wearing Centennial gear. See how it evolves? It started as just black male, blue or gray sweatshirt, blue hoodie, then gray sweatshirt, blue hoodie, goatee, short hair. Then it was Centennial gear. It evolves as people get on scene. Sometimes it evolves correctly and sometimes it does not. But this is why you don't just take one officer's word for it. You get everybody to write what they saw and you form a picture. And this is what this is what is hard because things get repetitive, but at the same time, this is what the news doesn't tell you, all the different perspectives. And this is why I like reading the documents. Documents are always more specific and more accurate than reporters. And just for reference, just in case Slug shows up, I am not a reporter. I am not a journalist, nor do I want to be. I am just me. I'm an occupational therapy assistant and corrective exercise specialist and certified lymphedema therapist. I prefer those better. Let's see. Athletic trainers on site. He was not conscious and not breathing. The notes also indicated that the subject was black male with goatee, short hair, wearing Centennial gear. I arrived on scene approximately 10:06. When I arrived on scene, I grabbed a roll of crime scene tape from my trunk and proceeded to the visitors' bleachers where dispatched advised the victim was. While I was walking towards the visitors' bleachers, I was approached by a witness who identified himself as Jay and began telling me what happened. I asked him where the stabbing occurred. He advised it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. I immediately informed Sergeant Otis where the witness stated the stabbing occurred and gave him the crime scene tape to start securing the crime scene. I then had him move to the walkway under the visitors' bleachers out of the rain to further speak with me. The following is a summary of my contact with him and advised he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team and was near, that's page 3, page 4. This is the hard part about this, is they're not in a nice little order that I usually like to keep things in, and they're not a PDF. All right. The victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Karmelo Anthony, not the basketball player. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, "Touch me and see what happens." This phrase right here, y'all know that self-defense in this country is a thing. However, when you are the person initiating contact and you are also the person initiating the fight, you can't initiate a confrontation and then claim self-defense. It just does not work that way. And there's more specific ways of saying that. However, you cannot be the aggressor and then claim self-defense. And that statement right there, touch me and see what happens. No, like that one right there. I just, that right there, what do you do with that? That statement right there. I guarantee you this will be one of the people that, yeah. Yep, that's you know this. That is one of the hallmarks of self-defense is that you are in fear for your life. And if you initiate a fight, you are not in fear for your life. Like, You're just chillaxing over there, aren't you? She's dancing. I love you. Mwah. Sweet. Sorry. Too many interruptions. Who's going to rage quit on me? And if you want to keep continuing to laugh at the rage quitters, hit that like button. Just, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, come here and see what goes back. It's a threat. Like it. This witness will be a problem. So I anticipate there will be a motion trying to disqualify this person as a witness. I don't think it'll work. I'm just saying, like, this is what I'm seeing as a, are you taking pictures? Whoa. She's holding my phone up, hitting it, and then putting it back down and laughing. So I can't read it. I just, there's going to be can't get rid of you that easy. That's okay. Most of you, if not all of you, really don't want to. Oh, what you doing? She's got the pictures open on my phone. She's looking at that screenshot that I showed you guys earlier, and she's pointing at it going, Mom. Oh my goodness. No one really thought Anthony had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. It's almost like he was looking for a fight, according to this witness. He was looking for a fight. Punch me, see what happens. Touch me, see what happens. Like, a short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what were called as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. You also, the running away thing kind of gets me. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to get help. He was advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial Track member. Some EP was friends with Anthony and could identify Anthony. They described Anthony as a black male, skinny with possible goatee, short, puffy hair, wearing Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact with that witness. I then was instructed to start a crime scene log. I retrieved a crime scene log from my patrol vehicle and began starting the crime scene log. I was later relieved by Officer Shells, who took over the crime scene log, and I cleared the scene. Nothing further. Jerry Hancock, stop. While working as a school resource officer at Independence High School, weapons call was dispatched over the air that detailed the stabbing near the stadium in Frisco, Texas. After hearing more dispatched call information, I drove to the scene. While en route, heard Officer Cortez say he has suspect in custody. When I got to the scene, I looked for Officer Cortez and went straight to him to hold security with the suspect that he had cuffed and secured in the police squad. Multiple witnesses were providing statement to officers where the stabbing occurred at the Memorial High School track tent. Only a short time later, Officer Cortez and myself escorted the suspect, Karmelo Sincere Anthony, to the Frisco Adult Holding Facility. Anthony was transitioned off to the jail without incident. All jail paperwork was completed with and CID took the investigation from there. That's my thing. Oh, hey, 3 awesome dogs. Yeah, last I heard it was over 200 and it was over 200, but I'm like, it just, hi. This whole thing could have been avoided. Like, this whole thing could have been avoided. Like, this is sad. This is really sad. 2 families' lives ruined forever because of one moment with fate. I mean, all right, Elvin Fisher. Officer Fisher was dispatched in regards to a stabbing. The note stated an athlete had been stabbed in the chest, was unconscious and not breathing. When I arrived, the crime scene was already marked off and the suspect was in custody. I began asking people if they were witnesses to anything. I made contact with Hunter and EP. If they were both breathing heavily, crying due to the nature of events. They were with coaches on the field, and it was pouring down rain. We made the decision to relocate to a locker room just to the east to get out of the rain. Once in there, things calmed down a little bit. However, they were still hysterical and could not really talk. In there, I learned Hunter was the brother of the victim, hence why his name's not redacted. It's been in the news. I attempted to ask them both what had happened. I could not really get anything out of Hunter, but the other one stated he wanted to speak. I asked him what happened. He stated they were all sitting on the bleachers under Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. Then Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. That is fair. Like, if that is the way it actually went down, hey, there was probably some teen boy attitude in there. Because, 16-year-old boy, they all got attitudes. 40-year-old woman and I got an attitude. Well, not 40 yet, but damn near close. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. They said during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag. It was at this time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin and then left the scene. This is all he remembered when he talked to me. After this, I stood by with 3 athletes, witnesses, until CID arrived and interviewed them. I was then relieved by an SRO and went back to the patrol. Nothing further. Could you imagine the life of a cop, like, dealing with this and then going right back to your patrol like nothing ever happened? And you just have to keep on going with your... It's just... Officer Mike Crawford. He was dispatched to the stadium in reference to a stabbing call. I arrived on the scene, observed medical personnel and several bystanders standing next to a subject later identified as the victim, Austin Metcalf. The medical personnel were actively engaged in life-saving measures with Mr. Metcalf. I observed that a crime scene was created around the area and began collecting the names and contact information of the bystanders at the scene. I then met with Officer Wetzel and directed him to begin crime scene log. As he was getting the needed paperwork, I took over his responsibilities of monitoring a witness to the event. Ultimately, the witness was taken to another area out of the rain. Officer Shells took over the crime scene log, and I forwarded information about the bystanders to him. That is page 4. We're going to go to page 5. And I apologize for the incremented statements. You never have well, yeah, you just have a sailor's attitude. Well, that's true. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Welcome to the show. The first 5 minutes might be particularly interesting to you. Just a thought. From that point forward, I worked with the coordinating response from SRO, CID, CSI, and PIO, public information, I'm assuming. I took no other action at the scene. My body-worn camera did not activate when I initially arrived on scene, but I did activate it when I discovered it wasn't recording while waiting with the witness, nothing further. I don't think this will be an issue, but had he been with the suspect, I think that the defense team would bring this up. The state says he won't face capital penalty. I mean, I don't know. And that's, I kind of agree with that, because it's not like it was premeditated in the sense of he knew going there that he was going to go after Austin. Like I said, I have a feeling this was good kid, stupid move. And there are some things in life that you can't undo. That's why be careful about your actions, because you can't unsay things and you can't undo actions. It's just... this is Officer Jacob Shells. Was working as the SRO at the Student Opportunity Center at approximately 10:01. Was dispatched to a stabbing that occurred at the stadium located at Collin County, Texas. It should be noted that my location is approximately 200 yards from the stadium. Upon my arrival, I tried to get an updated location of the suspect. I could not see Officer Cortez when I arrived. Officer Cortez informed me over the radio that he had the suspect in custody. At this time, I turned my attention to the victim. Multiple FISD trainers were already performing CPR. I could see blood on and around the victim. At this time, medics arrived and began life-saving measures. I coordinated with the other officers on scene to secure the location. By this time, the students and FISD staff had cleared the area. I used crime scene tape to begin to tape off the area. It began to rain harder. At this time, Sergeant Otis and myself moved a Memorial High School tent over the medics and victim to attempt to preserve evidence that we could. A Memorial coach approached me and informed me that he was with a student who claimed to see the entire altercation. I told the coach to stick with the student and that we would need to get him to the police station to give a statement. The student quickly informed me that he knew where the suspect threw the knife and pointed me to its location. I located the knife with Sergeant Otis and could see blood on the knife. I quickly used my city-issued phone to take pictures before the rain could wash the blood away. I mean, Sergeant Otis located a blue tarp, and we decided that we should cover the knife without touching it in an attempt to preserve any evidence. It was windy and raining hard. Once we positioned the tarp over the knife, I reached down and grabbed a backpack left in the stands to weigh the tarp down and threw it up by where Sergeant Otis was positioning the tarp. It was later discovered that the backpack I threw up onto the tarp was the suspect's backpack. It was the only Centennial High School backpack located within all of the Memorial High School backpacks in the area of the stands. After securing the scene with crime scene tape and attempting to preserve as much evidence as possible, I assisted other officers with locating other possible witnesses. Officer Wetzel was maintaining the scene security while I was assisting the other officers. And after the medics transported the victim, I relieved him of that post so he could go back to patrol. I maintained the scene security until the call was cleared. Photos will be uploaded to crime scene folder, and my body cam will be downloaded at the end of shift. There's a lot of officers. Texas gone soft. They refused to use the death penalty on the El Paso Walmart shooter who deleted multiple people. Ugh. And Flash fan, which family gave? Because I saw the one that the victim's family gave. Oh yeah, okay. All right, Officer Kyle Pemberton. This location is a school stadium. He responded. Call notes advised a male had been stabbed and was unconscious. Upon arrival, several officers and medical personnel were attending to the victim, who was laying on the ground of the stadium bleachers. I coordinated the Frisco PD response, trying to establish a crime scene. The knife reported to have been used in the assault was located by another officer in the bleachers. Shortly after my arrival, a large downpour of rain began. I directed several officers to use a tarp found at the scene to cover the location of the knife. I remained on scene until the victim was transported and the crime scene was established. No further information. I mean, dad joke. Dad joke. Yeah, that was hard for me to watch. That was hard for me to watch. So I don't think I will be playing that on a stream and reacting to it because I just can't. I just can't. I didn't think, like, I always wanted to be a mom, always. But, like, I didn't think certain things would affect me after I became a mom. And then I put myself in that lady's shoes. And I do it every time. And it sucks. Like, it's one of those unfortunate, like, you put yourself in every other mother's position and you just can imagine yourself there, and it's just hard. All right, Officer Justin Newton. And these were all put in at the same time, so I'm not, not reading them. On 4/2/25, I responded to Texas Health Plano to assist with this case. I was tasked with meeting the ambulance at the hospital. I arrived prior to the ambulance and waited for them to arrive. They arrived at 10:46 hours with the victim, Austin Metcalf, who was brought into the trauma bay for treatment. At 10:53, Dr. Chow pronounced Austin deceased. Once he was pronounced, staff stopped treatment and disconnected cords and tubes from the machines without removing anything from the body itself. While on scene, I took possession of clothing worn by Austin and maintained possession of the items until CSI Dillard took them from me. While on scene, Officer Landon requested assistance in lifting the sheets off the body to take photos. I then placed the sheets back when complete. I then stood by in the room for security while Officer Landon, Officer Hernandez, and CSI Dillard took additional photos. At one point, they rolled the body and removed shorts from Austin, which were bagged and stayed in my custody until CSI took them. At 13:24, family was allowed into the scene to view the body. I was informed by staff and officers that they would be allowed to touch head and feet of Austin, which they did. This is the year of the evil teenagers. Yeah. What do you even do? Wow, I'm immune to them? Yeah. You're not doing it today, guys. You're not doing it. You got to work harder. Not derailing me like normal. I mean, we're almost through this. We have 2 pages left. And it's an hour and a half. At 13:37, nurses from the hospital bagged Austin in a body bag. At 15:15, the transport service for the medical examiner arrived and took possession of the body. This poor kid. Poor kid. Like, honestly, poor kid. Like, just poor kid. I can't, like, it's just, this was so unnecessary. Like, this was so unnecessary. And a stupid argument over being in the wrong school's tent. Like, this is dumb. Like, this is probably the dumbest crime ever. Like, I just, like, no, not derail. I can just hear it. You're flattening. You need a short break from it. It's just, this is just, like, you get the whole picture, but at the same time, it's like you realize how stupid this is. Like, when I was little, adults used to say kids these days. I find myself going, kids these days. Like, you've had car trouble. I put $700 into my truck yesterday and it's going to cost me another $15. Yeah, I know somebody else that needs to get their car fixed, and it's going to cost more to get their car fixed than their car is worth. So I'm probably going to sell them my car, my old one. I was going to keep it and be a 3-vehicle household, but 1, it's taking up space in the driveway. 2, I love my new vehicle and I can't imagine driving my old car ever again. And I say my old car, it's a 2017. But I think I'm going to sell it to someone for the amount that their car took to fix, or their other vehicle is going to take to fix. So at least I'll get something for it. I'll probably get more from them than I would if the dealership took it. So, I mean, if you have to unalive someone because the Menendez brothers, we quickly learn these people are not the brightest. Yeah. I mean, this is just getting pathetic at this point. Like, like, I argued with my parents and I argued with some friends, and I got into a couple fights, but like, never in my life did I ever go, oh, they said something mean to me, I'm gonna go thunk. Never did that ever cross my mind. I don't know. Bless you. Tag 1016978 was placed on the bag and secured. I took notes during this time, which were scanned to the report and booked as evidence. I turned in the crime scene log to be scanned to the report. At the conclusion of the call, I took my camera off covert mode and went to turn it off. At that point, I learned the camera had failed to activate. Due to it being on covert mode, I did not see the indicator lights on the top of the camera. I mean, not like he had that important of a role. Like, okay, he had an important role. He was at the hospital, but with his body cam not working, it's not like there's a whole lot of evidence that he could have screwed up. Like, yeah. Parents need to hold their children accountable rather than trying to be their friend. Yeah. It's a fine line. But like, some kids are never told no. You stuck?
Yeah.
You're not stuck. There you go. You got it. She climbed down on the chair, but she climbed under the arm, and she was kind of sitting there for a second, like, how do I get myself out of this? But she did it. High five. Are you in a better mood now?
Hi.
Do you want a snack?
Yeah.
Okay, go get yourself a snack.
Bye.
Bye. She just keeps repeating bye. Bye. I won't say it never crossed my mind, but the thoughts didn't stop long enough to clock in. Passing thoughts, whatever you want to call them. It's normal for a straight. Yeah, it's normal. I was probably the same way. Never did it linger where it's like, oh yeah, this is a good idea.
Hi.
Stupid. Kids being stupid. You're gonna. Door's not gonna close. Well, I'm going to. I promise. She's trying to put her bike in the closet, and it's half sticking out, and it's not gonna work. But she's got to figure that stuff out on her own. You're right. The first 5 minutes were intriguing to me. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Sometimes I thought my mom only knew how to say no. Yeah. And that's one of the things that like the haters go, well, you're yelling at her. No, I'm not. I'm telling her no. But if no one ever tells a toddler no, you're not going to have a toddler for very long. Let me tell you. Little reckless people thinking they're way smarter and they can do way more than they really can. Teenagers and toddlers have a lot in common. Yeah. Yeah. And my parents were relatively strict, so maybe that's why I was afraid of getting my ass kicked. Officer Andrew Higgins was working at the desk at the Frisco, Collin County, Texas, at approximately 10:42, walked into the main lobby stating he had witnessed a stabbing and was told to come to the lobby to make a complete witness statement. I gave H a voluntary witness statement, which he worked on until detectives arrived to speak with him. H left with the detectives, and I returned to my normal duties, nothing further. Officer Thomas Craig. I almost wrote Craig, or I almost said Craig de Thomases. Like, that's not it. On Tuesday, April 2nd, at approximately 10:01, I reporting Officer T. Craig, 3517, school resource officer for Liberty High School, was at Heritage High School, had heard via radio that an FISD student had been stabbed at the address of that stadium. I immediately responded to the scene. Upon arrival, I made first contact with Officer Cortez, who was standing next to a marked police vehicle. Officer Cortez advised he had detained the suspect and he was in the patrol vehicle. I then responded to the victim's scene. That was in the north bleachers. As I walked up, I noticed Frisco Fire Department personnel attempting to provide life-saving measures to a subject later identified as Memorial High School student Austin Metcalf. As other officers worked the scene, I was asked to respond to the stadium's medical locker room and keep the following Memorial High School students' witnesses separated until detectives could speak with them, J, EP, and MN. While with them, I was told to take their cell phones from them and later turn them over to Sergeant Bissonette. Hope I didn't screw up that name. Yeah. I think my name is no. I knew I was in trouble when my mom would say my full name. Yeah, the full name is always the yeah. You know, if you get hit with the full name or just the first and the middle name, you still it's still not good. It's still not good. After being relieved, I was asked to make contact with all FISD athletes that had been placed on school buses. Below is a list of students who identified themselves as witnesses to the stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Lebanon Trail High School girls track, High School boys track, Liberty High School girls, Memorial High School boys, Frisco High School boys, Independence High School boys and girls track. And we are on the last page. And I know arrest affidavits aren't very fun to talk about, but they provide so much valuable information. So when you're watching a trial or you're reading some of the future motions by both the prosecution and the defense, you know what they're talking about. Whoop. Emerson High School girls track. I was also met with the following coaches, advised they witnessed the incident. Centennial High School coach heard suspect confess to stabbing victim. Vincent Hooper, Heritage High School coach, heard suspect confess to stabbing victim. Lakeisha Collin, Independence High School coach, witnessed the incident. Mindy Yeatman, Independence High School coach, witnessed it. After completing this task, I cleared the scene. No further information. Alejandro Aviles. Sergeant Aviles responded to a stabbing call at that scene. I provided scene security and assisted with keeping civilians away from the crime scene. I maintained this position until I was relieved by CID detectives and cleared the scene. Simple. Oh yeah. I think I told my mom to shut up one time and my head I was standing near a wall and she slapped me so hard. The attempt to get out of the way, I hit my head on the wall. So yeah, Mama Squid was she'd give you that open hand bitch slap to the face, and it was like, oh, I fucked up. My son's a 7-foot guy that weighed about 300 pounds. He worked for the correctional center for the bad teenagers, not the regular juvie, but those kids would actually try to, those kids. Oh, thank you. Are we picking up? Oh, we are picking up our stuff. Oh my goodness. Thank you. You want to put them in here?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put them in there. Much appreciated, Angel. Thank you. Okay. Mwah.
Mommy.
Yes, that's me. We are almost done here, and we'll play, okay?
No.
Yeah.
Daddy,
I'm the youngest of 6 boys. I would get all 6 names, so my mom would get to mine. Yeah, it's one of those, hey, you. Like, hey, you. Officer Joshua Miller, approximately, he responded, call note state that one student was stabbed in the chest by another student. Upon my arrival at this location, my only duty was to provide scene security. As the Frisco medic was leaving the location, I assisted in moving people out of the way for the medic to be able to drive through. Shortly thereafter, I cleared the scene. And that is all we've got. That is, just awoken from your slumber, your mid-evening or mid-afternoon nap, or evening nap. We just read through the affidavit for the Texas high school track meet stabbing. I haven't seen any. But there's a difference between filing things with the Frisco PD and then Collin County. Yeah, what's up? What is up? We will stop sharing this, and I will actually see if I can find the Collin County, because some counties make it super easy, and some counties make it so hard. So it's one of those, like, you never quite know what you're gonna get until you start digging. And sometimes it's like, oh, this was easy, and sometimes it's like, okay. How do we find this? I did not. That's a thing. That's a thing. Or writing motions using AI. Oh, say, I'm sorry. I think they'll charge him as an adult because he's 17. And at 17, you should know that unaliving someone is a bad idea. Yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am? Hey, so I am going to, nope. Nope. Like, the judge was not, yeah. I bet. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Yeah, sometimes you just look at things and you're like, why would anybody think that's a good idea? Like, I think he's already being charged as an adult. He's being charged with first-degree unaliving, so, like, no. Yes. Her favorite word is no, too, so you think it's just us. You think it's just us, but it's a lot. Right. I will continue to look for that. Right now, we are going to redirect. We're going to go over to Mo. Whoop, I lost 4 subscribers during this stream. Oh my goodness. Like, hey Chrissy, how are you? Yeah, we're just about to get going. I just have to go back to my YouTube studio. Oh, yeah, we read through. What? Really? Why? And I did put the link for my. I made a new Amazon list. That is not a housewarming. It's just things I might need or stuff like that. If something comes up, I'll put it on there. If and there's a gift card. So if you want to, it's one of those situations where if you want to contribute to the channel, but you don't want to give your money to YouTube, and you still want to know where your money is going, hello, ma'am. Oh, document 131. Really? I checked right before I started this stream and there was nothing. So, excuse you, ma'am. Hey, Sue. Oh yes, I will. We will get to that. I'm going to stream with Living Life with FND tomorrow morning. I believe tomorrow morning. She asked me to email her a time for tomorrow, and that's what I gave her. And I haven't seen anything. But we are going to. We're going to see. I'll show you my screen. I promise. Like I looked at right before I went live, and this is what I found. This is what was there. So we will see. We will refresh and see if we can get anything. Oh, look at that! Oh my God, Bruce, 14 pages. Spawn, I'm going to make a new. I'm actually going to redirect to myself. That's easier for me than trying to. It's easier for me to redirect to myself and make a new stream than it is to try to edit the stream down and make a new thing because people get confused on whether I'm live or I'm not live. Oh, another bubbles motion. I'm gonna give them more material to talk about me tonight. Woohoo! Like let's just yay. Too tired to care. We will I don't know, but we will let me create a new link and redirect us to there. So I have to remember how I did that yesterday. Who you on the phone with? Who you on the phone with?
Oh God, no. No. Doomed. Doomed, I say. Doomed. No.
I'm gonna get an echo, so I have to mute myself.
Let me turn myself down. Don't do it. Don't view the document. Don't do it. Let's talk. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Still here, just still coffee. I am not muted. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Wait, where's my camera on? You are muted. Check your settings. Right, if you can hear me, let me know. Check your microphone settings, Squid.
Can you?
There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
what did you do? I think she I think when she was up here, she toggled. She's messed with my.
She's a ninja. She went, I want mommy to play with me, so I'm going to sabotage her microphone.
She's my sound engineer, and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
I boomered it,
Well, she got you.
Yeah.
She ninja'd you. Bless her cotton socks.
That she did.
I'm still coughing my lungs out. 1 second.
All right. I am going to redirect to myself. This is always awkward. I should always just have a second stream just set up just in case, so we don't have to do this. But we are going to download the document and see the
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that is $1.40 for you. That's 10 pence. 10 credits per page.
All right.
Not 10,000 credits. Oh no, please don't. No. Dear God.
I promise I will try not to give everybody a migraine this time.
Why do you think I sound tired? Why do you think I'm tired today? You know that shit last night took it out. I want some legal representation on that one, because I think that technically, right, internationally, we can sue Bruce Matskin for
emotional distress.
Emotional distress, yeah, absolutely.
All right, I will see you guys in a few.
What, we're doing it again?
Yeah, I'm redirecting to myself so that way I don't have to go in and later edit, because then people are like, well, are you live or are you not live, or like,
Okay, so, well, crack on, let's do this. Oh God, no.
It's easier to redirect to myself. So I will see y'all in a minute.
I'll just stay here.
Bye. Yeah, you stay there.
Yeet!